Welcome to another podcast by me, Mr. V's World. Please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and make a comment. Today I'm going to discuss the topic matter of surviving a divorce. For men and women both, surviving a divorce can be a big issue for some of us who have grown very accustomed to being married and having that type of togetherness and union. And unfortunately, well over 51% of all marriages have ended or are ending in a finalized divorce. So let's get things started. Divorce, it feels like somebody died, when you're in the middle of a divorce. I think those who are dealing with this right now know exactly what I'm talking about. And regardless of the reasons why you may be facing a divorce or enduring a divorce, the fact of the matter is the life you had in the past is now over or is being finalized to be over. It's not a nice place to be, but there are several ways to deal with it. And that's the first point I want to really touch base on is you have to face up to the fact for yourself that your marriage has ended. And it's a very difficult task. It's really difficult to get in that headspace and get that thought around your mind. It's very difficult. But until you do that, you're going to be wallowing in misery for quite some time. So the first thing, once again, is you have to accept the fact that your marriage, as you understood it, is no longer. And right after that, you're going to feel the pain, and you should feel the pain because divorce is painful. Anyone who tells you that they had a painless divorce is either not telling you the truth or not facing up to the issue themselves and therefore going through the motions. It's kind of like being an alcoholic in a strange way. I know you're wondering how this analogy comes together, but to wean yourself from alcoholism, you have to go through the 12 steps. Otherwise, you will continue to wallow in that state of flux, So you have to go through the steps of dealing with the fact that you will no longer be in that relationship, and that significant person will no longer be on that intimate level with you ever again, really. I mean, you could be friends, I guess, but you're not going to be married anymore, and there's a reason why that has occurred. Another thing I want to talk about regarding divorce is just because you are divorcing doesn't mean that your life has ended. Okay? Doesn't mean that life is over. It just means that this stage of your life has taken a change. And the thing about it is we're so fearful of change. Change can be good. It's a process, but it can be a good thing. Because in marriages and in some relationships, we have a tendency to lose our sense of self, to lose a part of who we are because we've given up something in order to appease another person or to alter who we are to fit into the relationship and all the construct of that relationship. So again, when you are going through this process, you'll realize that there's a part of you that you don't know, or that has been missing, or that you feel like you got to rediscover. So that in itself is a powerful thing. Please embrace that change. It's not easy, but you'll come out on the other side much better, a much broader person, and guess what? You'll be much stronger too. Thirdly, getting back on the market in the dating pool. That could be scary because you haven't done it for some time. If you've been married, especially for 10 years, I have been married, by the way, before, for that length of time. It can be interesting, but it also can be unfamiliar because you have not been in rotation, You haven't been out there hitting the field. So you don't know the law of the land because you've just been out of it. So getting out there can be a daunting task. Some people do the Match.com thing, online dating, etc. I'm from the old school. I prefer meeting people face to face, and therefore getting a sense of who I'm dealing with. I'm currently not in that marketplace, and I have a girlfriend, a significant other, for some time. But I can tell you this: when I was divorced, or going through and then finalizing the divorce, I purposely did not. Okay, I repeat, did not put myself out there. You know why? Because I didn't want my previous relationship to lapse into the potentially new relationship. And that is something that a lot of people make the mistake of, because you know why? They're running away from the emotions from the last relationship. They don't want to face those steps that I discussed earlier. So you have to face them. And why would you want to delude yourself, by not facing those things and going on to another relationship that quickly? So for me, purposely, I just stayed off the market. I observed the market from afar. I found it interesting to see how people interact and what the dating pool is all about and what people are looking for. So I just observed it. But I knew that I wasn't ready to deal with it because I had to finalize emotionally my previous relationship. So maybe some of you know what I mean by that. There is a woman on YouTube who shall remain nameless, who I had been corresponding with about 6 months ago, and she has via online put her entire breakup and a separation process journal, if you will, a blog online, and up to the point where she actually got divorced and all the emotions she was going through it. And my hat goes off to her because she was extremely honest to herself about her situation after being married for 15 years or so, somewhere around there, and they have 2 kids. And she's come around with that, but she still struggles. She still struggles to a degree, and she is open enough to admit it to herself and to the public at large. Is that for everyone? Probably not. But at least she's doing the courageous thing, and I see the progress. She has her up days, she has her down days. But you have to get back to you when you're divorcing, because I think people do lose a sense of self.